a chill in the air in Central City, and it's not just fall. Things are taking a frosty turn, and we're going to talk it out on Flash Chat. Welcome to Flash Chat. I'm your host, Just Jess, and I have three fantastic guests, and they've all been here before, and we want to meet them again. We've got Andy Smith, Herc Petmezas, I'm getting your name right.
You are.
Yes, and Brandon Padgett, and they've been working on some really cool things this past summer. I haven't seen you guys really since.
I know.
Well, at events. We see each other at events around town. But Andy, what have you been working on?
I'm just doing the Ominous Press stuff, the publishing company I started with a couple of my friends. We're still rocking on that. We've got another issue coming out in November, and we'll be announcing a co-publishing plan with a current publisher soon.
Ooh, and
so
you
in the
see
next
right
couple
there.
weeks.
OminousPress.com.
Yep.
On sale now. What's your favorite one you've been working on?
Well, I mean, the book I'll be doing is called Demigod. Right now, what we're doing is this legendary series, which is kind of recapping some of the stuff we originally put out. And then we're ending that series. It's a 4-issue series. We're ending that with a all new art, all new story, and then we'll launch into the new stuff.
So you gotta check it out, OminousPress.com.
Yep.
Herc has been doing Inktober. You may have seen Inktober on social media. Tell us all about it.
Yes, this is a collection I did from last year's Inktober, so it went so well that I decided to take part of it again this year. And
I'm gonna hold it up
Oh,
for you
yeah,
so
sorry,
people
yeah,
can see
definitely,
it because it's
definitely.
really rad.
oh, thanks.
And you could go, if you look for his handles right there, it's all social media. You can follow him, Petmezas, and you can check out all his Inktober work. It's very cool. Tell us a little bit about what's going on in these scenarios.
Yeah, well, I wanted to do Inktober, and I wanted to tell a continuing story throughout the month, so I decided that me and my dog, Mr. Munchie, would go on adventures.
So great. Mr. Munchie. I miss Munchie, I feel. He's always hungry.
He is always hungry. He's a pug, so they definitely are hungry.
Very cool.
But last year we went to a haunted house, and this year we are at a freaky fairground. So
Ooh, and they had some
definitely join.
freaky carnival stuff last
Yes.
night in the Flash
Yes,
too. What is it
definitely.
with carnivals? They are like the clowns.
They are
You may have
creepy.
heard of the clowns invading North and South Carolina. Things are going weird in this part of town. Brandon, what have you been working on?
I've been doing a little bit of Inktober myself. I haven't done the story. Most of mine has been lunch sketches I do for my son.
Yeah, those are
He's
so
in first
great.
grade. Hey, bud. I do a lunch sketch every morning for him so that he can see it, and then I'll link it and throw it up on Inktober and stuff on Sketch Charlotte. We're both involved in Sketch Charlotte. All three of us are coming up pretty soon.
Charlotte
at the Charlotte Comic-Con,
Yep.
Dave and Rick's show up
Yes.
in Concord. It's a great show. If you get an opportunity to go, you really need to check it out.
Yeah, the guest list there, you've probably seen literally all of them on Flash Chat. Yep, I know every single one of those people. And yeah, great guys. It's going to be a fun show, and only $5 admission. Make sure you get to it. I need to get to it this year. I haven't gone to that one yet.
Oh, it's a lot of fun.
I'm always
Yeah.
out of town, but hopefully this year is the year. And we
right.
want to give a special shout out to the Flash Discussion Facebook group with Lance and his administrative staff. They have been really supportive of us. We love them, and you got to join it. They have 17,000 people now, and I think John Wesley Shipp, I think, is on it. There are some of the stars of the show.
I'm on it.
On it. Brandon's on it.
There you
yes,
go.
some of the stars of Flash Chat are also on it. So last night's episode, I mean, let's just talk about Walking Dead, actually.
Oh, okay, sure. No spoilers now.
You got to watch The Flash to get over The Walking Dead.
The Flash will cheer you up.
It'll
Right.
cheer you right up.
A lot of heart.
Yeah,
That's what I
yeah.
like about Flash,
I
actually.
know, and especially last night's episode was a really fun one, I thought, especially with Goofy Wells. But one of the main things that everyone's been talking about is Killer Frost.
know.
What do you guys think about this? Have you seen Caitlin turning blue?
I think it's
Using her
I think
powers?
it's awesome. I mean, they teased it. Was it not the week before? And then last night, you know, it was full on. She's like, "All right, I can do this."
Yep.
And then even at the end, with her lips turning blue, the shock of white hair.
Yep. She really just looked like an emo kid at that
Yeah, at that point, sure.
point. She's turning emo.
Yeah.
Now she's always going to have to wear lipstick to
Yeah.
hide the fact. But I think it's going to be really cool. I'm just curious to see how she takes the turn to the dark side.
Yeah, okay, so do you think she's gonna go dark, or you think she's gonna stay Caitlin?
Well, I mean, I think she's one of the main players on the show, so even if she does go dark, let's face it, I doubt it's going to be forever.
Right.
You know?
Yes.
But I do think, I think they probably will take her to dark at least for a little while.
To the dark side, kind of like the last year on Supergirl when the red kryptonite, and maybe something like that where they have to figure out a way to get her back into Happy Land. But I'm excited to see her. I like her as that character. I think that'd be a cool Halloween costume to do as Killer Frost. But Danielle Panabaker is such a good actress.
Sure.
But like you're saying, we need her on the show as part of Team Flash. So she can't be bad for too long.
No, she won't be.
Maybe during the crossover episodes. I'm excited to see what they do in these crossovers because it's going to be one mess of a ton of superheroes. But I did notice, who noticed, and I've said this for like 2 years now, she's wearing blue again.
Oh, right.
I just like that. We all know, I mean, she's Killer Frost, but they do put her in blue on purpose, and I can tell.
Sure.
So we have a new friend on the show, Goofy Wells, HR. Yes. What did we all think about this guy with the, what's it, a pork pie hat? Is that what it's called? Pork pie? I don't know if that's
I'm not sure that's the actual thing.
That hat. He's got a Cam Newton hat on.
There you go.
Sporting the
He's a Cam fan.
He's a Cam fan,
That's
yeah.
right.
On Earth 19. So Earth 19, Harrison Wells.
Wait, is it 19 or 18?
19.
It
yeah.
is 19.
And they call him HR. What are our thoughts on this guy?
You know, one, I give it up to Tom Cavanaugh because I
Right.
thought all the little iterations of Wells they showed were great.
They're so funny.
Yeah, they were just so funny.
Cowboy Wells,
Definitely.
French
Yeah.
Wells.
Yeah, French
Yeah,
Wells.
it's right.
You know, it looks like he's going to bring some levity to the character, and then you see the preview for next week, and you're like, oh, does this guy have some evil agenda too?
Right, and speaking of
So-
that, let's check out the trailer because it's called Monster, and I don't think it's just about the big creepy monster in the show.
There is a monster in Central City.
Yes, the monster.
Triangulate the signal.
Okay, let's just triangulate.
Barry, we're gonna do Empire.
Empire of the Sun, Barry.
What? Empire Strikes Back.
Empire Strikes Back, Barry. Nobody seems the wiser as to why I'm here.
There's something about him. Come on, you can't just go through his stuff.
Is trust not something that you have on this earth?
The Flash, all new this Tuesday at 8/7 Central on the CW.
Ooh, so he may have highlights, but
Monster
he's a
has a double
dark-
meaning.
Yes,
true.
it does.
It's got to.
Okay, so what do you think? Do you think he purposely tried to get to this Earth? He has an agenda? Is he part of Alchemy's plan or Savitar? So many questions. What do you guys think?
I honestly don't know.
Yeah.
Honestly, I really don't know because do the
much too
other
soon.
Earths know about this one?
Right.
I know.
'Cause It
I don't
doesn't
know.
seem like they did, you know. And then I think too, I kind of hope they don't make him bad right away.
Right.
Just because I think it'd be so soon again to
The
have another
slow
bad
burn.
Wells. Yeah, I don't know.
Is the character Harrison Wells always destined to be like a dual, like a bad guy hiding?
Well, but you got to think though, the one that went back wasn't.
He's not bad.
He's not bad.
He's not
He's
like
just
super nice.
No, he's not super. Yeah, but he's not. He's not like
bad.
villain bad. He's
Right,
just
he's not
his
evil.
personality's just not that
He's
great.
hyper analytical.
Yeah,
Right.
he's hyper analytical, and you know when we first met him, it was all about wanting to get his daughter back. So yeah, he was kind of a not likable guy. But now that his daughter's back, you know he's lightened up some.
Definitely.
He
So
came
she-
up with that winner named Top.
Yes. No, I really
Sorry, I went on a tangent, but I heard that and I was like, are you serious?
And isn't that from the comics though? I don't like it.
It is.
No,
I don't
it's,
like
it's a horrible name.
No, it is. It's it is from the '60s. I went and looked it up, and I saw it. And I was like, "There's got to be." I was thinking Vertigo, but that's
Yeah.
a Green Arrow villain, and
That's
I was
taken
like,
too, so.
man,
I don't like the name Top. I think that it was interesting how they tried to play with you. How he said, I don't trust my gut on this one. I don't think he's going to be a good guy. And then they tried to make it seem like, oh, he just had like FOMO. And he wanted to be around the group still. But what did you think he was going to say?
Yeah, Wells at the end before he got
Yeah.
I don't know. I was trying to see what he was starting to say to
Yeah.
see if I could figure it out, but I can't figure it out.
And I do like that when Wells was leaving, he told Cisco, we didn't see the what was it, molecule decelerator was not working.
Right.
So they're on to something's up in the lab. But I feel like maybe they'll start to think it's the new guy. Maybe, I don't know.
Oh,
Even though
no,
that happened before.
I mean, I got the sense at least that because they knew. Don't they all know about Killer Frost?
Yes.
On other
No.
Earth.
I don't think.
Well,
do
you think
they?
that was
trying to
retconned?
remember.
See, I don't think that was retconned.
I thought they all knew about the
That's a
Killer
good
Frost on the other
question.
Earth.
Right.
I can't honestly
Yeah,
don't
but
remember now
everything's
from
changed
last
so
season.
much. It's just all over.
Well, that's true
Yeah,
too, right?
wait,
It's hard to
because
know.
didn't only Barry? No, okay, because didn't Barry? No, it's the timeline.
Yeah, Barry came back from the timeline, Flashpoint,
And they don't
said,
want to know
and
about
nobody
the
wants to know
timeline.
about that.
But they know about Earth 2.
Yeah,
think
well, she was kidnapped over there anyhow.
Right,
remember?
exactly.
True, yes.
Right.
Yeah, so she know. Yeah, I think they all know
Okay.
about her.
Gosh,
and
I'm getting
basically,
confused.
Yeah, I know.
DC, come
roadmap.
on.
Because I think that's the whole reason why she's hiding it, because she's worried that, since she saw the Killer Frost on the other Earth,
Yeah.
that she's kind of worried that maybe she's going to
gonna be
become
bad.
this.
her relationship with him.
Well, not only that,
Well,
but I
right.
think that since going by what I think is right, everybody knows about that other Killer Frost, that if they see she has that power, she's hiding it because it's like, oh my God, they'll think I'm going bad. They might just want to lock me right up.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what happens with her character, and I love that Harrison Wells gets to keep doing, or Tom Cavanaugh keeps doing new iterations of himself. That's
Oh, yeah.
a really fun character, and he's such a great actor. We love Tom Cavanaugh here in Charlotte. His manager lives here, and we feel like he's our friend. He gets to call into some of our shows sometimes. Super nice guy. So one thing I did not love about this episode, even though it was, it's building blocks because it will create drama, the relationships. There was a relationship between Barry and Iris, which, that's always kind of going on.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's the Jesse Wally one, and then there's Joe and his boo at work. I think her name is Cecily. Okay, what was your least favorite of the pairings?
I'm not going to say least favorite. To me, it's just weird is Joe's because I look at Cecily, is that what you said?
Yeah.
I look at her and I'm like, isn't she a little young for you,
Right,
dude?
right.
That's the first thing.
Oh,
but-
really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
I think so.
Yeah, right? Because I
Okay.
look at her like she's almost just a little bit older than Iris.
Oh, I couldn't tell her age. I thought she seemed kind of like his contemporary, but I couldn't
It's
tell.
hard to say.
Well,
I
the
just
first
didn't see
time,
age.
It is
the first
TV.
time in the episode, I couldn't really tell. But then at the very end, when she asked them out,
She
not
looked
to
younger.
get too technical,
she
no,
did.
she looked a little bit older from her
Okay.
neck.
Okay.
Because of her neck. I know, it's awful.
You just lost all the viewers.
It's awful of me
Oh,
to say,
everyone
but
just
seriously,
played
I look
out.
at, I saw on her neck kind of like the stress and all that, and I'm like, all right, maybe she is close enough in age to where it's not creepy.
Yeah, okay, it's
But-
not creepy. Yeah. Do we like Wally and Jesse?
There's not enough there to know.
Yeah.
I mean, they're
it felt
cute together,
forced.
Cute.
but
It felt forced. And
Yeah, like,
plus,
is it-
like he said, they're gone.
Yeah, is
you
it
know?
necessary?
I don't think so.
I don't have a
You
problem
know,
with it.
They
Just,
kind of set it up last season, though.
They
I mean,
did.
so it
When they got
wasn't
together.
like, it's kind of a natural progression, I suppose.
Yeah.
Although, the whole, I'm dating a girl from another.
Long
honestly,
distance.
I'm more interested in when he's going to get his speed
Right.
in their
Right.
relationship.
Now,
Right, so-
could this whole thing play a role in it, though? Because if he gets speed and they're both speedsters, it could turn into
maybe she'll sacrifice her speed for him or
something like that.
something.
Yeah, maybe. I'd like to see where they're going with that. And then awkward Barry and Iris. Like, I'm fine with the relationship. She was real forced, and poor Joe. It's weird because like when she says things like, "Can you talk to Dad?"
Right.
Please specify my dad. That way, like, you know what I mean? So it's not like just, hey, can you talk to our dad about us making out? Like,
Right.
Specify that. Because obviously it's a weird dynamic.
It's
didn't
definitely a
think
weird
about that.
dynamic. It's like
Yeah.
he's almost a stepson.
Yes,
know?
he is. Like, he is.
Right.
There's
So
some-
it's definitely a little weird.
It's a little weird, but I like their relationship, but obviously we know in this realm it's never gonna work out all the time. You know what I mean? Like every season, I think there's gonna be moments of like when they break up or something happens.
Hey, and you never know. Maybe that 100th episode a few seasons from now is the wedding.
The wedding, it's just
When
a
they
flash
finally
wedding.
had
If it ever works
never know.
out,
Yeah.
what else do you have to watch for?
Exactly.
I mean, about
True.
the relationship anyway.
About the relationship, other things. What did you guys think about Jessie Quick and her speed and her new costume is pretty cool.
They have those ready and waiting for
I know.
anyone.
Don't
It's like, here's your
Yeah.
flash costume.
Seriously, at the end of last week's episode, it's like, here. I'm like, what? How do they make these things so fast?
I know, and the costume department's like, yeah, put it in the first episode. Put it in the, they're like, just present it because they're probably trying to get. Well, it probably costs a lot to make those, and apparently they have. I follow on Instagram some of the costume designers, and they have versions where, like. They have him running costume, they have his
Right.
standing costume, and him with a cowl costume. So there's so many iterations of each costume.
Apparently, going way back to the first Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, that suit was like $100 grand.
Really?
Yeah.
What? What was it made out of?
Well, the Flash suit from the first CBS show was $1 million.
was
That
like
thing was
foam.
so foamed up, though. Maybe that's why.
I remember reading about that, about it costing $1 million.
Yeah, but so it wouldn't surprise me.
Ew,
If,
and-
okay, so knock it down because it's TV. It wouldn't surprise me if it's still 30, 40 grand a piece.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. Or at
definitely.
least like the leather, like the, I don't know, that's a lot though. It should have like actual speed powers.
It's amazing though that because I didn't know that they have different ones for like running and all that because it's like
Yeah.
why?
Because I guess the ones where he's just standing, it probably
Aren't
looks
as
like a certain
flexible.
like
Oh,
yeah,
right.
yeah, and looks
Yeah.
a certain
Fits a
way.
certain way,
Yeah.
yeah.
Weird, man. I'm glad it's not my job to do. How did we feel about Mirror Master? That's a pretty popular DC comic character. Did you like how he was portrayed in the show?
I liked him. I thought it was really cool. I thought the whole 3-year thing was a little just too long. I mean, I get it because it's like, well, this happened to him 3 years ago.
What was he doing?
But okay, so wait. The mirror falls over. He's laying on it. The lab blows up. He becomes, Mirror Master, and literally that warehouse, wherever they were at, is
Yeah.
just like that for 3 years.
Right.
Until a couple dudes are like, "Hey, let's pick this mirror up."
Yeah.
You know.
I don't know, but I did like the reference point. I like that we got to go back and see another
Sure.
particle accelerator. So you kind of said you didn't like how did you like how they showed Mirror Master?
It's not that I didn't. It just felt when they were establishing the character before, he was like, "Hey, I'm vain." I like, calling him, "Hey,
I
look in
like
the mirror,"
suits.
and all that stuff. It's
Yeah.
like, what else are you going to call this guy? What else is he going to be?
I
It's like,
see.
Right.
you led it right down the path.
Now in comics, is he vain like that?
I don't really know.
Yeah, I don't really know.
Well, we already said we didn't like the name The Top, but apparently that was a guy in the comics, and they turned
Yeah.
it into a girl,
Right.
which is cool. I think they're as new rogues. How do you feel about them?
Yeah, I think they're probably the weakest out of
Yeah.
of all the ones we've seen so far. Really.
Yeah.
And apparently nobody's getting locked up at Star Labs anymore. They're all going to Iron Heights now.
Right.
I guess so. Yeah.
Is that-
Seems like
did-
it, right?
'Cause they
I'm
haven't
trying to
shown
remember it. Does that mean that at some point they said, "Oh, by the way, we used to lock people up here, so we've got a few you can take"?
That's right.
Yeah, that's a good point because I noticed that they put on like the metahuman handcuffs, but
Right.
that was Iron Heights for sure that
Yeah,
they
but
put in.
They said it at the end. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I just saw that they coded the cell with non-reflective stuff. Interesting. That's a good point. I don't know. I don't remember what happened last season with all the people that were in the prison.
I don't even honestly
The
remember
metahuman
how many
prison.
were. I know one or two of them got bumped off by Wells,
Yeah.
right.
True.
You know.
Yeah, and Harley.
but I don't remember how many were locked up in the first place since it's been 2 seasons already.
Were you excited to see Captain Cold back?
Oh yeah,
yeah, I like him.
he's
Yeah.
just such a good actor.
He is.
So you've been following Legends. I am
Yes.
not caught up on Legends.
Legends is good.
Apparently he's supposed to be coming back because of Flashpoint and because of time travel. Wentworth Miller is supposed to be back on the show. Have they said anything yet on the show?
Nothing yet. No.
Not yet.
Nothing yet,
No.
yeah.
No.
Well, we'll have to keep watching tomorrow night at 8 on WCCB, Charlotte CW.
Imagine that.
Yes, yeah. And I wanted to ask you guys, who's been watching Arrow? Andy.
This guy watches them all.
This guy watches them all. Okay, so how are you feeling about this? Arrow's on tonight at 8. Last week's episode was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And how are you feeling about this season compared to some of the others so far?
Well, I like that he's putting a team together again. I want Diggle to come back, which
Yeah.
he will.
You will.
But I'd like it to be sooner than later.
Yeah.
I think it was kind of the season just started and he's already got the 4 new members.
Yes, a lot of new
And
people.
yeah, it seemed really rushed.
Yeah, we
you
don't
know?
have like a relationship with the new people yet.
Right.
I feel like I don't know them.
I would have been fine with, Mr. Terrific because
Yeah.
he's been on the show and you knew that's where he was going. And, the way they set up Wild Dog, I was like, all right, that's cool. But then, and I don't even remember her name, but the girl and Ragman, I was like, wow, that seems really fast.
Yeah. I think that this season, I think they've maybe heard what the fans were saying last season and that last season wasn't my favorite of Arrow. Season 2 of Arrow I really liked. I really even liked season 1, like I guess more the second half after they kind of reworked it. But I felt like, especially last week's episode, was kind of more reminiscent of the feel of season 2, where it's just, I don't know, it just seemed a little bit more Arrow style. They weren't doing the drama with Felicity and stuff like that.
Oh, right.
And I don't like that. I'm just not a shipper. Sorry everyone.
Well, the thing, it's still weird to me with the whole Felicity thing because they're just getting along so well. It's like, oh my God, you people, you lived together, you tried to lead a normal life in the suburbs for,
Yeah.
3 or 4 months. you were engaged and all this. That all fell to pot. But now you're just big chummy friends again.
Right,
And I'm
it's
just
a
like,
little weird.
I'm like, yeah, this is definitely not the real world, because in the real world, you guys wouldn't be talking anymore.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe they're going through some real good therapy after you know they leave the Arrow Cave.
Right.
I don't know, because I thought about that
It's
last
just
episode
weird.
too. I was like, they really do work together quite well. I don't know.
Yeah.
And that's another thing with the whole Joe and dating this Cecily lady from work. They only ever date people that work at Central City Police Department. Like, is there no one else? Or that or the newspaper. They only date, like, they never meet anybody who works elsewhere, except Patty Spivot. Pivot? No, Spivot. I don't know where she went. She's gone. She should come back. Yeah, so watch Arrow tonight at 8. They're, I guess, trying to break Diggle out. It's one of the things that they're doing. And I'm curious to see how that goes. And we have been doing a really fun campaign here at WCCB Charlotte CW. Linda Carter for president. If you are an undecided voter, maybe you should think about writing in Linda Carter. We had Supergirl go to one of our local early voting locations and try to campaign for her. Check it out.
Oh, no way.
I'm here campaigning for Linda Carter for president, so I'm out here campaigning for Linda Carter. Fantastic woman. We're campaigning for Linda Carter for president.
Miss Carter, you're in effect.
The Flash will know who Linda Carter is.
Yeah, I do know.
Yeah, that's right. So I know I don't have to. How about you?
No, I don't think
No.
The Flash was not interested.
That's awesome.
I know.
I thought the Flash was. It was his wife.
No,
was
he
the
was.
Flash.
They both were like,
Oh, they
no.
both were like, oh no.
Yeah.
He was until Mrs. Flash said no.
Yeah, Mrs. Flash was like, no. Iris said no. Yeah, no, it was a really fun time. So if you want to see the full video of that, go to WCCBCharlotte.com or our YouTube channel, WCCB Charlotte. There's a lot more. And we have some more fun things coming up with our cosplayers. If you'd like to see the cosplayers, we will be at the Panthers Lair this weekend on Minton Moorhead from 11 a.m. till 1 o'clock to give away Plinko prizes so you can score some sweet swag. And if you want to get a campaign button of Linda Carter, so come check us out. We'll be there. You can meet Supergirl, Flash, and Arrow. But thank you to all my guests for being here. Ominous Press, you got to check out Herc's Inktober book and Sketch Charlotte and Charlotte Comic Con. So if you're local, make sure you pick up your tickets to Charlotte Comic Con. Thanks everyone for being here. Until next week, happy flashing.